The dawn of a new era in Australian motorsport as Melbourne's new $20 million Calder Park Thunderdome awaits the start of the Goodyear NASCAR 500. Super speedway stock car racing makes its debut in Australia today, and the 25-strong American contingent includes Daytona 500 victor Bobby Allison, last weekend's Richmond 400 winner Neil Bonnet, and World 600 champ Kyle Petty. NASCAR racing might be new to the land down under, but that's not to say the Aussies aren't ready to answer a bicentennial challenge. Road course regulars Alan Grice, Dick Johnson and Jim Richards head the Calder cast in company with sprint car supremo Gary Rush. They may not be first-up winners, but all are fast learners. The impressive Calder Thunderdome measures 1¼ miles or 2.01 kilometres with a pair of 24-degree bank corners. The Australian television network welcomes viewers throughout the United States, England, Europe, Southeast Asia, New Zealand and coast to coast across Australia for episode 1 of NASCAR's Down Under Thunder.
Hello and welcome on the Australian television network to our telecast of the Goodyear 500, the first NASCAR stock car race ever held outside of North America. And of course it's being held at the Calder Thunderdome in Melbourne. A special welcome to our viewers throughout the United States and Europe. What a special event this is going to be for them as well. A great day here in Melbourne, a little cloud around but otherwise sunny. South to southeasterly winds strengthening this afternoon. Top temperature 21 degrees. I reckon it's reached that already, and it's drawn a huge crowd in here. The good weather plus the promise of a thrill that they've not seen down under before.
In a departure from traditional NASCAR qualifying procedure, drivers had the opportunity to better their Friday bets with a Saturday session. Friday's top 10 showed Neil Bonnet with quick time in the Valvoline Pontiac over Bobby Allison with Aussie Alan Grice third. Fourth quick was Chad Little, fifth Californian Ron Esau, then Australian Robin Best from Bob Howard, Dave Marcus, Glenn Stewart and Gary Collins. Goodyear sweetened the pole shootout with $10,000, and that was all the incentive the drivers needed to turn up the wick. First to respond was Tasmanian Robin Best, who cut a perfect lap in the number 88 Monte Carlo. He shaved almost a full second from Friday's qualifying run, jumping 2 spots and into the second row. Not so fortunate was NASCAR veteran Dave Marcus in the 71 Chevrolet. He was 8th quick on Friday, but this wild slide put paid to his chances, and he was bumped 7 positions. Alan Grice, the sentimental Australian favourite in the Foster's Oldsmobile, did not let down his supporters. He charged around the 1¼ mile oval in 28.971 seconds to bump Bobby Allison off the front row.
Well, we've gone back to the setup we had on Thursday. Friday was very hot, as you know, and we lost our car. We lost more than half a second. But we've gone back to the setup for this sort of temperature, if you like, and that's brought the speed back to the car.
Allison responded quickly to the challenge. He gunned the number 12 Buick deep into the first corner to set up an ideal entry to the back straight. From there, it was plain sailing. A lap of 28.847 seconds, and Grice was back to the second row. However, the best on the day was delivered by Neil Bonnet in the Raymock Pontiac. He also took the car deep into the first turn and never lifted off the throttle, setting up the fastest time of the day, 28.829 seconds, marginally slower than his Friday mark, but $10,000 richer from Goodyear and the Park Royal pole for today's NASCAR 500.
Boy, it feels good. You know, we brought a good race car over here, and we thought we'd be in good shape, but boy, Bobby put us to work today. He's right there with us. We beat him like a couple of hundredths of a second, and Alan Grice really picked up today. We're going to have our work cut out for us come Sunday.
So here's how the top 10 will line up for today's Goodyear 500. Pole to Neil Bonnet in the Valvoline Pontiac. Position 2, Bobby Allison in the Buick. Row 2 is the Aussie connection, Grice from 3 and Robin Best from 4. Position 5 is Californian Ron Esau. 6, David Sosby in the Ford. 7, Chicago's Bill Venturini. 8, the Medicare Master, 60-year-old Herschel McGriff. 9 is Gary Collins in an Oldsmobile. And 10, Summer McKnight's Thunderbird.
I'm standing out here on pit road, and the pits are going to be a very important place today. This is Neil Bonnet's pit. He's on the pole. 3 sets of tires here at $170 a piece. They expect to use those. If things go green all day long, he'll stop at every 80 laps, but that's likely not to happen. Yellow flags, they come in to make adjustments to 2 in the car. The pits will be an important place, and we'll be here to report.
Bob Jane at this moment. We're just waiting to cross down. And I think it's only fitting that Bob Jane will give the signal, the starting command, for the cars to come out on the racetrack. For 280 circuits here today, that constitutes 500 kilometres the Goodyear 500.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
The two winners of the NASCAR circuit this year, pole sitter Neil Bonnet, winner of the Richmond 400 last weekend, and on the outside of the front row, Bobby Allison, who of course won the Daytona 500 a fortnight ago. Pace car might be just about ready to head to pit lane.
Pace car being driven by John Harvey.
Yes, and the pace car comes off the racetrack, and we're about set for the start. Under the control of Bill Gazaway of NASCAR, the field comes down for the start. It'll be a slow one, obviously, and it's Bonnet on the inside, and Bonnet will get the jump. Bonnet is away. Bobby Allison trails. Alan Grice did not miss the start. He moves up very quickly on them, and Robin Best, in fact, was very, very slow to get away. Bonnet will lead them through turn number 1, through 2 now, working the back straight, clear of Bobby Allison. Alan Grice starting to pick them up as they head down there. Robin Best is the next one to go through. Sosby also well positioned, so too is Brad Knopfsinger. Watch them work the bank turns now as they come into the completion of the first lap, and Alan Grice already up and making a challenge on Bobby Allison. Down through the tri-oval, the crowd has gone berserk here as Grice goes down on the inside looking for racing room, but Allison is an old hand. He'll hold out. Here's Grice again coming off the second turn, working the back straight. The Foster's Oldsmobile with Australian Alan Grice going through up into second as Michael Waltrip comes in and back out of the pits.
What an incredible performance from Alan Grice. On the previous lap through turns 3 and 4, had the car cocked completely sideways, got himself into a position to be able to attack Bobby Allison as they cross the line. We've got Bonnet leading from Grice, then Allison, Robin Best from Tasmania, followed by car number 78, and that's Ron Esau.
Can Grice move up on the tail of Neil Bonnet? You betcha he can.
Black flag being shown to one of the competitors. Can't quite pick up that number at the moment. Look at how quick these cars are travelling. 170 miles an hour down the straight.
And we take race cam now from Alan Grice's car, the Foster's Oldsmobile, as he heads down the back straight. He's tailing Neil Bonnet, car number 75, the Valvoline Pontiac, and they're already coming up on a slow car for the lap. We'll watch Bonnet try and work down the inside here, and Grice sits in pretty tight as well.
It's Michael Waltrip. Bonnet goes by. Grice now has his chance to attack, goes to the outside, punches the brake pedal, turns the car in. There's a real rise in the road there. A 1,600 kilogram car starts to get very light, and it's hard on the power down the back.
There's the gap, second to third. Bobby Allison, number 12 in the Buick.
There is quite a gap between third and fourth. Robin Best from Tasmania in fourth spot, but the top three getting away from him at this stage. Bonnet leading the way from Grice and Allison.
Well, the pressure's going to be on Alan Grice here as Bobby Allison starts to make the run down the inside, and here he comes. Allison in the number 12 Buick. Alan Grice in the number 03 Foster's Oldsmobile. There's our race cam shot. Allison poking the nose now of the Buick down on the inside of the Oldsmobile, and a touch then. A touch, and there is gone. Bobby Allison has it. Grice is gone. He's got a park, and he's skidding sideways across the infield.
The crowd has gone absolutely crazy in front of the commentary box. Grice has managed to survive, but pointing the wrong way. Yellow flag is out.
Yellow flag out. Alan Grice.
Well, I thought it was Allison that may come off second best in that one, but you're not a Daytona 500 winner and a 30-year expert at this caper and come off second best in those confrontations.
Well, Bobby Allison leads the Goodyear 500 from Neil Bonnet. Third is Ron Esau. Dave Marcus, a great run, runs in fourth. Fifth spot is the veteran Herschel McGriff, 60 years of age. Boy, and he's still doing it strong here this afternoon.
Of 278, the pace car pulls to the infield.
Don't worry about the car sitting there on the inside. That's a car that is already down a lap. It's Neil Bonnet who will lead them across the line. Takes the green. Michael Waltrip gets the go-by there on the inside.
Car number 83, Sumner McKnight, made a big run. That's the yellow Ford Thunderbird that you can see about 7 or 8 cars back in turn 1. So it's Bonnet, Allison, Michael Waltrip, many laps down on the road in third position. Then a great strap-on at the moment being headed by Herschel McGriff. And the man that I'm really watching carefully here is Dave Marcus. That's a great shot of the speed of these cars. Coming off turn 4 into the tri-oval, Bonnet leads. There's Waltrip mixed up in the bunch. That great scrap for third placing.
And I tell you, the man who is making a big move down through there is Herschel McGriff. There's Bonnet, though, the race leader. That gives you an indication of the 24-degree bank corners here and just how quickly they go through. Back behind the two leaders is a whole wall of cars, and they are really just pacing it out side by side. Pick them up next time they come onto the start finishing straight.